I mean, I guarantee the dude's like freaking out, you know, like, holy crap, I almost ran that dude off the road. You know, I'm sure they feel horrible about it unless they're just some naive fool. In which case it doesn't matter what you say to them. Hey, buenos dias, ¿qué pasó, amigos? Bienvenidos, welcome back to John's Moto Garage. Thanks a bunch for tuning in. You know what they say, accidents typically happen when you least expect it, and today was no different. I was out riding on the FXDLS, the Lowrider S, getting footage for another planned video that I have, and I had a real close call. So today I'm going to share that footage with you. I haven't reviewed it yet, so I don't know how awesome it turned out. And then at the end, I'm going to review what I could have done differently, because all you can control is your skill level, your practice, your reaction, and all that kind of thing. And so in this instance, there definitely were things that I could have done differently, and I can definitely say I learned some important lessons. And of course, if you dig the content, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit me on Instagram at John's Moto Garage, and you can hit me on Patreon now. Big shout out to the patrons. So far, as of right now, we've got 3 patrons: Elizabeth and David, Jay Chill, and Markobi. So big shout out, thanks a bunch. I appreciate the support, and thanks to everybody who supports the channel. All right, you guys, let's hit it. So I'm on my way home. I got in I just had a super close call on the bike here, and the way close calls typically happen is it's totally out of nowhere when you're not expecting it. So I'm gonna run the footage here. We'll play it back for you guys, and then I'll talk a little bit about what happened, because ultimately there's a lot that's out of our control, but the only thing we can really change or modify is what's in our control. Am I right? And there's definitely things I could have done differently on my end. All right, guys, let's check it out. That was scary. So a little bit of analysis of that. You know the old adage, you should always ride as though you're invisible. As I was coming up to that intersection, I watched the dude coming out, and I had a pretty good feeling that the dude was just gonna pull out based on the fact that he just kept creeping out. It was pretty obvious at that point the dude didn't see me, so I was a little lackadaisical in my riding, which is not good, because what I should have done was start slowing down earlier, and I should have started moving towards the right in order to avoid him that way, and it wouldn't have been an issue at all. But as you can see, what happened is the dude kept creeping out, and then towards the end there, what I had to do was really get on the exhaust. That didn't stop the dude from pulling out in front of me, but at least at the end there, it got his attention. Now, if I'd honked the horn, it would have done the same thing, but frankly, it was easier just to get on the gas. Now, I'm really lucky that there wasn't oncoming traffic, because as you can see there, I had to go towards oncoming traffic, go into a skid, and quickly turn around. So had there been traffic coming towards me, and had it been a lot closer, then it would have changed up the entire outcome of what happened there. And honestly, I can't remember if as I was coming towards the situation, I mean, I'm always looking for an exit strategy, so I'm pretty sure I was thinking if I have to, I'll go off that side since I don't see any traffic. can't say for sure if that was the case. I may have just gotten lucky. And the other thing I'll note is I was going the speed limit, if not a little bit slower, but had I been like racing down that street and the dude had pulled out in front of me, then same thing, I wouldn't have had as much time to react. So ultimately, in that case, well, the dude should have, you know, been paying more attention. We all know motorcycles are hard to see, and frankly, I saw it coming from a mile away and I just kind of ignored my instinct, which was to slow down and move over to the right. But fortunately, everything worked out okay. And when I flipped around out of necessity, not necessarily to chase after him, because what am I going to do? Chase after him and yell at him for cutting me off? I mean, at that point, they already know what happened, so lesson learned for both of us. So that's pretty typical. I think that's fairly common. People pull out in front of you while you're on a bike. They just don't see you. They're not used to looking out for a small motorcycle. They're used to looking for a car. And it happens even people pull out in front of cars before too. I mean, I anticipated he was going to do it, and yet I still didn't react. So yeah, the way I look at it is, when you have close calls like that, you can't control what other people do. All you can control is, you know, how much skill you have, your practice that you've put into it, how you react, and how closely you're observing and paying attention to your surroundings. So the mistakes I made, I was kind of rolling lackadaisically, wasn't paying a ton of attention. I saw the dude starting to come out, and I should have slowed down as soon as the dude started to pull out and been ready to pull off or come to complete stop if need be. And so those are the big things that in my mind I knew I should have been doing, and just, you know, you're not paying attention and you get complacent with your riding. So close call for sure. My heart was racing, and you know, had things been a little bit different, it's possible that I would not be here right now. Instead, I'd be laying on the ground. Yeah, live and learn. I'm posting this obviously for as a learning opportunity for us all. So ride safe out there, you guys. And if you dig the content, like and subscribe. Hit me on Instagram at John's Moto Garage, and you can now hit me up on Patreon as well if you want to support the channel in other ways. And big shout out to Markobi, J Chill, and David and Elizabeth, the first 3 patrons, breaking ground, making history. So huge shout out and thank you, you guys. I guess we'll see you on the next one. Adios. Nos vemos.